This is part 3 of my pregnancy journey during COVID. I'm just giving y'all my experience, through the whole thing. First time mom, first time pregnancy, first time COVID. I probably skipped a couple things, but we're just gonna go ahead and get to the point here. So, the last thing I was saying was, after we left the restaurant, I went home. And I had broke down and cried and whatnot. We're on our way to the hospital, and my sister reached out to her friend and basically asked her questions about what was going on with me spotting and whatnot. And so she told her that it's not normal, and she said I need to go to the doctor right now. So when my sister called me and told me that, I just bursted out crying again. Like I lost it. Yeah, so basically, she told me to go to the hospital, which I was already on the way there. So I'm on my way there, and I started crying. I kind of lost it, and everybody was getting nervous because I was panicking. But then I reached out to his father and I let him know, but he didn't seem too concerned. So told me he was somewhere far. Yeah, but anyways, I'm on my way to the hospital, and basically I'm just kind of like, I feel like it was like, dang, even in a time like this, I'm kind of the only person this baby can depend on right now. Like, and it made me feel like, well, what am I doing wrong? Like, was I moving too much? Was I standing up too long? Am I, working too hard? Like, what am I doing? Anyways, so I'm driving. I'm not driving. My friend's driving, and I get there, and for my job, COVID, so I had to go in there alone. And I had to request that they allow my mom to come up because of the hospital that I would have been delivering at. And she basically took me to triage, and they were asking me who was going to be there, if I have to deliver. And I was like telling them my mom. So I was like, can she come up right now? And they was like, sure. So I came up. She came upstairs, and basically I'm just sitting there. My mom is just kind of like being the person that typically, you would have. It would be probably the other spouse. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it is my mother, who has been nothing but supportive this whole entire time. Like, this whole entire time. She's like the other parent in my situation. And I appreciate her so much. But basically, she was my confidant and my support system I had in the room with me. And I was thanking God that somebody was able to come up there with me, because I don't know what news they're about to come back and tell me, and I'm in here by myself, So it was like, and my nerves are already bad because I'm just thinking all the worst things. You know what I'm saying? So I had to put myself in a place where, you know, I almost kind of set myself up to be like to hear bad news just in case, so I can, you know, be prepared. I don't know if anybody has ever been in that situation where they feel like they had to basically expect the worst. That's how I felt, because I don't think I could fathom, you know, what to the extent what could happen, you know what I'm saying? So I had to prepare myself mentally, and I mean, call it crazy or whatever. But anyways, so I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for the nurse to come in. One nurse did come in, she came in, checked my vitals and stuff like that. They put me on the machine, you know, to check the baby, because also they asked me was the baby moving before I came. And honestly, he hadn't moved in a while. He hadn't moved he hadn't moved for about 2 hours, and that was just not the norm, because my like Zeke was a busy baby in my stomach. Like, yeah. He stayed kicking my uterus. But so it was just, that's what really just threw me off, and I was just like, Lord, and I just was praying so hard in there. Like, I was like, Lord, please, you know, if you just spare me this one, like, Lord, please. Like, I was just prayed so hard, y'all. So anyways, they found a heartbeat, because I was nervous about that. Because they was having problems finding that. That made me even more nervous, and I'm like, oh my God. I was just thinking the most awful things. And so then, once they put me on the machine, I felt a little bit better. Okay. So then here comes the other nurse. She's a black nurse. She comes in and she was like, are you still spotting? I said, yeah, I guess so. And she was like, okay, we're gonna do an exam. It's not gonna be a thorough exam. Well, when she said it wasn't gonna be a thorough exam, I didn't think that it was gonna be the exam she gave. You know, I'm thinking at least, because a thorough exam to me, I don't know to what extent that is, but I know if you come in with the symptoms I'm having, you would at least do so on and so on. Well, all she did was look under my gown. Just look. That's it. I was like, oh. Well, if that's what just a regular exam is, I can't imagine what a thorough exam is. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I was like, she was like, well, I don't see any blood or anything. I don't see anything going on. We're gonna speak with your doctor, and we're gonna see what they say, and whoop de whoop and all that stuff. So she comes back and she tells me that my doctor is not on call right now, and the doctor that is on call said it was okay to release me. So I was like, okay. I said, so he gonna release me and I'm still bleeding, like spotting? And she was like, well, he said it was okay. I said, okay, all right. You know, like, I was just like, if anything happens, you know, I will be back. So they gave me this whole list of stuff to, like, if something was to happen, to, like, come back. Y'all, they might as well told me if I sneeze to come back, because that list was just tedious. Then they put me on bed rest, and I was like, okay, whatever. So then I leave, you know, and I was still working at my salon. Um but I had 2 appointments tomorrow, the next day, but I had to cancel them. I had to give them to my partner, because I just was not up to it. I was in the hospital for like practically almost to 1. I want to say to 1. And I got home, and I went to my mom's house. Actually, I didn't go to my house. I went to my mom's house. But basically, I got home, and y'all, I went to sleep. I rested my eyes. You know, I just, and you know, I was really tired, because that was a long day for me. And remind y'all, I was still spotting. So I had to actually put on a pad. Now, at this point, I'm like, I'm gonna get a second opinion. I'm gonna let my actual doctor check me, because they didn't do a good job to me, and I just want to be sure, because I don't think this is normal to be still bleeding and spotting like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I called my doctor's office. No, I didn't call them. I sent a message, and I told them what happened. And you know, I don't know what it was about this assistant that worked there, medical assistant, but me and her just never saw eye to eye. Like the way she come across, it was very insensitive. So, like when she would message back on the portal, I just wasn't. I don't know if it was me not receiving it right, correctly, or just getting the wrong idea of her. But we just never could, get it right. Like, so what she said to me, it lacked empathy, and I didn't like that. So I definitely, waited to give them a call the next business day, because I don't think she reported anything to my doctor, but I know that the other doctor did. I mean, I know that the doctor that was on call for that weekend did, but I think she just responded, but she didn't give the doctor information, like give the doctor my message based on what she replied back to me. I can't remember exactly verbatim what she said, but I just know I had a big problem with it and I complained. So fast forward, let's see, we're fast forwarding to a couple days later. I'm at home because I feel okay now. I feel like I'm all right. I'm at home, y'all. I'm working, and all of a sudden I'm standing up because I was putting something up, and I started to feel something warm like coming down my legs. And I thought I was tripping because I don't know, I think I was doing something. But then I felt something wet on the floor. And so I looked down and it was like blood. And it was like on the floor, going down my legs. And I started to panic. I could not believe what was like. I was like, this is a lot of blood. This one, it was like dramatic. Like it was like scary for me. Like I really freaked out this time, and I was here by myself. So I was like, oh my God. So I was like, what am I gonna do? Here by myself, I'm pregnant. And I'm bleeding, like, should I call the ambulance? Like, what should I do? Like, who should I call first? Like, I was like stuck, So I called my friend and I told her, and she was like, listen, you need to go to the hospital. And then I started to just break down crying. I was like, I told them, like I kept saying it while I was crying. So then I told my sister, and everybody started to call me. So I eventually, my sister was telling me to call the ambulance. I said they're gonna take too long, and I need to know right now. So I said I'm gonna just have to drive myself to the hospital. And I was just like, what is the nearest hospital? Because I just kind of like, at that time I hadn't been living here that long, so I don't know what is the nearest hospital. So I look it up. Now I didn't catch on to the VA at the end of the at the house. I mean at the on the map. So I didn't, I didn't really think too much of it. I was like, I don't know what that stands for, but I didn't think that it stands for veteran. So I was like, okay. And even if it was veteran hospital, I would think they would still accept me. So I mean, I don't know, So that was the nearest hospital I saw. So I drove there. I was like, ooh, this is good. It's close. Well, yeah, I get there. And I see that it's only men like this, like being checked in. So I'm like, but you better take this picture with your mom. I got them loafers on.